So most rappers don't have real fans, they have followers. There's a big difference between someone who likes your song and someone who actually cares when you drop again. Think of every one-hit wonder you've heard where you loved their song, you thought their song was fire, a lot of the TikTok one-hit wonders, and then as soon as they drop something else, you not only didn't care, but you didn't even know what their actual name was. The reason that so many artists fall off is because they're chasing numbers and validation instead of chasing a connection. And I know that sounds cliche, but it's just a fact. You can get thousands of numbers and millions of views, but still not sell out a 200-person stadium. And so many people forget that more than the virality, more than the numbers, more than any of that shit, the most important thing is developing a connection. And I noticed recently that a lot of artists that I listen to, I'm a fan of them, but then when I look at their fan bases, they don't really have solid fan bases, because you got to think about it like this. A lot of people feel like they're fans of artists and they're like, oh yeah, I care about this artist, I care about them, da da da. But then as soon as something bad comes out about them, as soon as a misconception about them comes out, or maybe they get involved into some controversy, as soon as that happens, all of a sudden, everybody dials back and they're like, whoa, I'm not a fan of this person, I don't really care. And it's like, yo, hold up a second. You cared about them a second ago, but now because they're involved in controversy, because they said something that you don't agree with, all of a sudden you're not a fan. It really shows that a lot of artists don't have the solid fan bases that we believed or believe that they do. People will stream you for a week and then forget about you because you didn't develop that connection, because you didn't develop a relationship with your audience. You know, a lot of artists aren't trying to develop relationships, they're just trying to feed the algorithm. And from a business perspective, I get it, you know, like as an artist myself, I'm trying to make money, I'm trying to get people to really appreciate my music and me, but at the same time, you also have to keep in mind that without building that connection, as soon as you release something that people don't like, or you say something that people aren't fond of, they're forgetting about you. It happens because labels and artists a lot of the time focus on going viral instead of building a community. And I feel like we've noticed this a lot in recent rap, where a lot of these artists are so focused on going viral, getting their name constantly in the blogs and getting all that shit, instead of focusing on how they can develop their sound and creativity. I know a lot of people don't like to have this conversation because it's really like, oh, like just let the artist be the artist, but like really, we need to be more structured in how we respond to artists, and artists ourselves, we need to be more structured in how we put things out. It doesn't matter if people don't like what you're putting out at first. And I know a lot of people would be like, oh, well, why doesn't it matter? Like, of course it matters, because if your fans aren't liking what you're putting out, they're not going to support you. But that isn't always the case. Yes, majority of the time when you put out something that not everybody is liking, a lot of people may step back from supporting you, but that cleans out the house. It cleans out the people who aren't really there supporting you. They're just hopping on a bandwagon. And when you double down on something that you genuinely like putting out, not only will you be more satisfied putting it out as an artist, but these artists will be able to say, okay, these are my real fans. It doesn't really matter if you have thousands of people watching you and looking at you. And I think as an artist myself, I've struggled with this. So if you're an artist also watching this, or a creator also watching this, keep this in mind. A lot of the times, the artists who have thousands of viewers, thousands of people watching them, just because they have that doesn't mean that they're going to be successful 3 to 5 years from now. If you're still looking to be an artist for the thousands of people, for the big venues, for the validation, then you need to start working inward, because it doesn't matter if you have thousands of people watching you. All you need is a strong 100 people in your fan base who are going to be there, because those strong 100 people are going to be there supporting your every show. They're gonna buy the merchandise, they're gonna get all that shit. But the biggest thing that a lot of artists aren't focusing on is that, because they just want that validation and they gotta work on themselves. I don't know what else to say. A lot of artists just drop songs and they disappear. They drop music and they disappear. And that whole mysterious going ghost thing, it needs to stop. If you want real fans and you're an artist, talk to your fans. Don't just go ghost. It doesn't work, and long term, you're not gonna see the success that you wanna see. Show your process, share your thoughts, share what you believe in. I guarantee you it'll get you somewhere. It's getting me somewhere. Streams fade and stories don't. It's just a fact. If you're new here, please make sure to subscribe. I've got more content coming on the way. And if you wanna follow me and any of my own music, you can do that. Follow me on Instagram, Will Armani with 2 eyes, as well as follow me on TikTok. It's Will Armani. Stay positive. Got more content coming on the way. I've got you.